Hey, Stephanie here. I am coming back to you the next day after I completed the ebook for my client. I sent him the files and asked him to let me know if he had any problems. So he came back with just two things, which is great. He said that chapter 7, the image, this is how it came through to him. And then he said that there was a weird spacing issue with this particular chapter, or I'm sorry, particular paragraph. So we're going to troubleshoot these, and I figured it might be helpful for you to kind of watch the process that I do to kind of troubleshoot these. I guarantee this particular issue is probably the designer put in a hard line break that I did not find and did not delete before I exported into an ebook. So that's one of the negative things about working with somebody else's file. Is you don't know how they did things. So we are going to look into that, and then we're going to look into this particular photo issue to see what the problem is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look for these in Dreamweaver. And the great thing is, I don't know what page this is to bring up, but in Dreamweaver we can just run a search, and we can just bring up any page for that ebook file, and we're just going to run a search. Okay, so we're looking for the text Happy Days at St. Mary's School. So I'm going to go to the Find menu. We're going to bring up the other Find menu. In Dreamweaver, it's Control-Shift-F, and we are going to look for Happy Days at St. Mary. Happy Days at St. Mary, and we are going to look in the folder, and it should already be set to that, so that's fine. So now I don't have to look through all different pages to find that one, so we're just going to look for that. It's going to search for them, and it's going to find it. So it was on 18. So okay, so here it is. This is the image. So what's going on here? Why? Oh, and just notice I obviously hit replace. So I lost some of my text. So let's dumb me. So we're going to bring this back. Anyway, okay, so what is the problem here? Looking at this is why I always say to make sure not to save spaces in images, because they can turn out really funny in ebooks and cause issues. And this is one of those particular things. So we're going to look at the EPUB for this file. Paul ebook prep EPUB eBPS, and we're going to look at the image. So this is, come on, this image right here. So what is causing the issue is this silly little apostrophe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that apostrophe. All right. Now I am changing the name of the file now. Okay. And that's very important. There's many steps that you need to take if you're changing the name of the file. So I'm removing that apostrophe. If I were to zip up the ebook now and run it through the validator, we would get errors galore centered around this photo. All right, so we're going to need to change the details in a couple of places. We're going to need to change it here on this page that the photo is on. And if the photo is in multiple places, you need to do a search for it. If this photo was in multiple places, I could have easily ran a search in the folder with the old file name and the new file name, and it would have replaced them all. So that's how you would have solved that. However, that would not replace it on the Content OPF page. So we need to go to the Content OPF page and look for that particular, this is not the right book, look for the content, look for that particular ebook, I'm sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied, look for that particular photo listed on the Content OPF page so we can correct it. So ebook And we are going to, now that's one thing because it's an OPF, it's only looking for HTML pages, so we need to tell it to look for all files. We're going to do content OPF. So we're going to scroll down until we find that image. Here it is. We're going to change it to St. Mary's School. St. Mary's School. And now we should be good. So I believe we solved this issue. Now we're going to go on and try to solve this issue. So I'm just going to do a search for American and Streetwise as my father. So let's just pull up any page. It doesn't matter. We're going to do a search. American as Streetwise as my father. And let's just double check there. That is one word, Streetwise. So we're going to do a find all. And it was not found. So we have to think about this. American as Streetwise as my father. Oh, I see what I did. And Streetwise. I just typed it wrong. Oh, I don't want to do a replace all. We just want to find all. All right, so here we go. All right, so here is that particular issue, and just like I thought, there was a hard line break in that sentence, and that was just the formatter. Instead of using something else to break the line, she just put a manual line break there to prevent that. So in InDesign, one of the good things, whether it's your own document or someone else's, it's always to do a search for those forced line breaks. That is something that I did not do after I set this book up. So now it's a little too late to fix it in the ebook now in the InDesign file, but I can look for these areas and go ahead and correct them in the ebook. So here's another one. I was a Hollywood junkie, so she has a hard line break after Hollywood. So I'm going to find this one and remove it as well. He just didn't notice it. So we're going to do Control F. We're going to find this. We're going to find all. And we're going to remove that hard line break once we find it again. Sometimes you kind of go crazy looking through the code. We know it's a BR, so. All right, here we go. All right, so we're looking for this. Now, I may have some manual line breaks throughout the document, so we'll see what the easiest way to fix these are. Let's first off see how many we have. We have one. We need to change to document. There's going to be some that are appropriate and some that are not. All right, that one's fine because I put that one in. That one's fine. That one we've already corrected. Okay, so there's only 4, and 2 of them were on purpose, and only 1 of them needs to be removed, and we just did that, so we're good. So that's how to fix, look for certain mistakes and how to fix it. So the thing is, now we're going to check it to see if it validates. All right, and I just do this again just to double check to make sure I changed everything for that particular photo where it needed to be changed. So what I'm going to do, since I've already sent this to a client, I like to send them a new numbered version, and I always save my backups. So I created a folder called old and moved the versions I sent to him yesterday into that old folder, and then I'm going to regenerate the zipped up file, save the name, and call it EPUB02 this time. And then we are going to try to validate it and drop it. I don't want to update you right now. All right, so I updated everything properly. We have no errors, so we're good. And I am going to generate the Mobi file and resend it to him. So if you ever come across any issues in files that you don't know how to correct, send me a note. Feel free to send me the file if you're comfortable with that, and I can show you, or just give me the particular issues, and I will will do a video to walk you through how to solve that problem. Because I've been doing this for so long, I typically know how to resolve something. So use me as your sounding board.